11 years ago, a young woman from China made a life-altering decision. She left behind everything she knew, her home, her family, her country, to embark on a journey to an unfamiliar land, Africa. She was chasing love. At the time, few believed she would find happiness. Many assumed she would regret it. But today she and her family live in a sprawling mansion, their wealth valued in the tens of millions. Her children speak four languages fluently and receive top-tier education. Meanwhile, she has become a well-known social media personality. So, who is she? And what led her to such an extraordinary life? Join us as we uncover the remarkable and unexpected journey of this incredible woman. A modest beginning in China. Her name is Gui Hua, with the family name Xia. Born in 1988 in Xiaogan, a small city in Hubei province, she grew up in a modest household. Her parents were factory workers, raising a large family. Gui Hua was the fourth of many siblings. Despite their limited means, her parents took a relaxed approach to parenting, allowing their children the freedom to explore their own paths in life. This upbringing not only fostered independence, but also instilled resilience and determination. Although life wasn't always easy, the siblings shared a deep bond, supporting one another and sparing their parents from excessive worries. From a young age, Gui Hua displayed a sharp mind and an independent spirit. She had strong opinions and was never afraid to voice them. Even though she wasn't the eldest, she naturally took on a leadership role within the family. In 2008, thanks to her outstanding academic achievements, she was accepted into Donghua University in Shanghai, a prestigious accomplishment that made her family proud. And it was there, on the bustling campus of Donghua University, that she met the man who would change her life forever. He was an international graduate student from Africa, a man whose presence would alter the course of her destiny in ways she never could have imagined. He came from Rwanda, let's call him Asang. But Asang was not just any student. He was born into an influential and wealthy family, whose business empire thrived in his homeland. One of 8 siblings, he was part of a powerful lineage. Highly educated, multilingual, and possessing a broad worldview, Asang was a true intellectual. Beyond his academic brilliance, he carried himself with grace and confidence. He was refined, well-mannered, and above all, deeply devoted to Gui Hua. The university environment provided the perfect setting for their love to blossom. As time passed, their bond deepened, and before long, they became inseparable. Yet, their love was not welcomed by everyone. Gui Hua's family and friends strongly opposed the relationship, but like many young women swept up in the intoxicating rush of first love, she ignored the voices of doubt. She saw past nationality and race. To her, love was all that mattered. Throughout their university years, their relationship only grew stronger. But then came a turning point. In her 3rd year, while she was still studying, Asang completed his program and faced a life-altering decision. He had to return to Rwanda. His future awaited him there, and with that, a choice loomed before them. One that would define the rest of their lives. A year later, Gui Hua graduated. With a heart full of love and unwavering devotion, she made a bold decision. She would follow Asang to Africa and start a new life in Rwanda. When she shared her decision with her parents, they were initially unsettled. Moving to a distant, unfamiliar land was not something they had envisioned for their daughter. But Gui Hua had made up her mind. Her place was by Asang's side. Her siblings helped reassure their parents, reminding them that happiness is not about where you live, but who you're with. They promised that, no matter how far she traveled, her family would always stand behind her, ready to protect and support her whenever she needed. Her parents knew their daughter well. Once she set her heart on something, there was no changing her mind. Though still filled with worry, they ultimately gave their reluctant blessing to the marriage. In 2012, Gui Hua followed Asang to Rwanda, where she was welcomed with open arms by his family. Before long, surrounded by loved ones, they celebrated a beautiful wedding in Rwanda. Even though the ceremony took place in Africa, a Sang made sure Gui Hua had a stunning white wedding dress, honoring her dreams. The couple received blessings from a priest, hosted a grand banquet with hundreds of guests, and embraced the rich cultural traditions of Rwanda in their celebration. Over the next 8 years, their love blossomed into a growing family as they welcomed 5 children. In 2013, their first child was born, a beautiful baby girl. She had delicate, striking features and soft, naturally curly hair from her father. Yet, her skin tone was lighter, resembling her mother's more closely. In Africa, she was considered breathtakingly unique. Gui Hua and Asang adored their daughter, showering her with love. She was the heart of their home, cherished by everyone. Gui Hua described her eldest daughter as kind-hearted, sensitive, and deeply empathetic. Whenever her mother told stories, she would listen intently, absorbing every emotion. At times, she would even shed silent tears over the sad parts, deeply moved by the characters' struggles. In 2015, the couple welcomed another daughter, their third child. This little girl inherited the best of both parents, her father's keen intellect and insatiable curiosity, and her mother's gentle and composed nature. She was an eager learner, hard-working, and never caused her parents any worry. With her radiant smile and warm presence, she became a source of joy and positivity in the family. Lovingly, they called her their little angel. She also had a strong passion for dance and fashion, often cutting fabric and designing her own outfits. Many who met her couldn't help but compare her to Li Ruotong, Carman Li, the famous Chinese actress. For many families, having 2 children would have been enough. However, in Africa, having a son is often seen as essential, as physical strength is highly valued in many aspects of daily life. A son is viewed as a pillar of the family, a source of strength and security. With this in mind, Asang and Gui Hua quietly hoped for a baby boy. Their wish came true in 2017 when Gui Hua gave birth to their first son. He was a well-mannered, thoughtful child, and, to their surprise, developed a deep love for Chinese culture. Energetic and outgoing, he loved playing with his 3 older sisters, filling their home with laughter and mischief. Initially, for the sake of Gui Hua's health, the couple decided to stop having more children. But in 2020, fate had other plans. Gui Hua unexpectedly became pregnant again. And so, their youngest child was born, completing their extraordinary family. The youngest child was a beautiful little girl, noticeably more reserved than her older siblings. Her hair had soft, flowing waves, distinct from the tight curls traditionally seen in African communities. She had large, round eyes, clear and bright, almost like a porcelain doll from the West. Since she was still too young to run around with her siblings, she preferred to stay close to her mother, spending hours drawing and painting by her side. For Gui Hua, these quiet, tender moments with her youngest daughter were among the most cherished in her life. In reality, Gui Hua gave birth to only 4 children. Her second daughter, as she was known in the family, was actually adopted. The girl's biological father was a Chinese businessman, and her mother was a local Rwandan woman. Years ago, when her father came to Rwanda for business, he met her mother, and the two fell in love at first sight. In 2015, the little girl was born into what seemed like a complete and loving family. However, things took an unfortunate turn. Her parents divorced, and her father returned to China, leaving the girl in her mother's care. Not long after, her mother remarried, but the new husband refused to raise another man's child. At just 6 years old, she was abandoned. At the time, Rwanda had a growing community of Chinese merchants. Through business connections, Gui Hua and Asang knew the girl's biological parents. Even though they already had 4 children, Gui Hua couldn't bear to ignore the little girl's suffering. She and Asang made a life-changing decision. They adopted the child and gave her the name Amazing. In their home, she became the second daughter, finding her place in a family filled with love. Thanks to the warmth and care of her new parents and siblings, Amazing quickly adapted, embracing the love and stability she had always longed for. Guihua placed great importance on education. Because of her dedication, all of her children speak fluent Chinese, use chopsticks properly, recite the three-character classic, San Zi Jing, and have a deep appreciation for Hanfu, the traditional Chinese attire. But their learning extended far beyond books. Their education was deeply connected to everyday life, instilling in them the values of filial piety and a profound understanding of their parents' hard work and sacrifices. The two eldest daughters, in particular, took special care of their younger siblings, always looking out for them. Whenever they saw their mother exhausted after a long day, they would compete to give her a massage, chat with her, and do their best to lift her spirits. Both Gui Hua and Asong worked tirelessly to provide the best environment for their children. They frequently ordered clothing and shoes from China, ensuring their children were always well dressed and presentable. During their free time, the family loved spending time outdoors, hiking, swimming, and exploring nature together. In their household, love, harmony, and mutual support were the foundation of everything. Physically, Guihua was not a conventional beauty, but she had an undeniable charm and elegance. As for a song, friends often teased him, calling him a Kobe Bryant look-alike. But perhaps the most surprising thing about their family was this: all five children had fair skin. Not one of them inherited their father's deep complexion. Instead, each had a golden undertone to their skin and strikingly attractive features, a fascinating blend of their diverse heritage. A unique family that defied genetics. Online followers often joke that this might be the first time Chinese genes have won against African genes. Some even playfully suggest that when the daughters grow up, they should return to China to find husbands. In 2021, Gui Hua, her husband, and their children moved into a spacious luxury villa. Their businesses flourished, and life only got better. Around this time, Gui Hua began sharing her family's daily life on Chinese social media platforms, quickly gaining widespread attention. Many were curious, what is life in Africa really like? At first, some people viewed Africa through stereotypes and struggled to understand why Gui Hua had chosen to settle so far from home. She and her children even faced harsh criticism and unkind remarks. But as she continued sharing her experiences, people's perspectives began to shift. They saw her resilience, her happiness, and the beautiful life she had built. Life in Africa was nothing like what many had assumed. Far from struggling, they lived in a grand estate with a farm, operated a successful nail salon, ran a furniture manufacturing business, and managed a livestock farm. Their 5 children were well educated, fluent in 4 languages, and enjoyed a quality of life comparable to that in China. The family had everything they needed: housekeepers, private tutors, a chauffeur, and even a gardener. Beyond their own success, their businesses provided jobs for many locals, creating opportunities and boosting the local economy. However, their achievements weren't solely due to Sang. Both husband and wife had built their own careers. Sang worked in sales and often traveled for business, but at home, he was independent and self-sufficient, never burdening his wife with household responsibilities. Meanwhile, Gui Hua was a powerhouse entrepreneur. She founded and managed a thriving nail salon and a large-scale livestock farm, creating jobs for the local community and contributing to economic growth. Once her business was stable, she even brought her siblings to Africa to build their own futures. Back in China, her family had experience in furniture manufacturing and logistics. When her eldest sister and younger brother moved to Africa, they opened a furniture production factory, leveraging their expertise. Thanks to high-quality craftsmanship and exceptional service, their business was an instant success. One of the most well-known influencers in Africa's Douyin, Chinese TikTok, community is none other than Gui Hua's younger brother, Xiao Xia. Like his sister, he found love in Africa, got married, and, just as in their childhood, the the siblings continued to support each other through life's journey. Each of them had forged their own path, and today, they all own businesses worth tens of millions of yuan. However, with their growing responsibilities, their trips back to China became less frequent. In June of this year, Gui Hua and her husband finally took their children back to China for a long-awaited visit. For certain reasons, their second daughter was unable to join them on the trip. During their visit, they reunited with Gui Hua's father, who had fallen ill, and caught up with relatives and friends they hadn't seen in years. It was a deeply emotional homecoming. 11 years ago, when Gui Hua first moved to Africa, China was still in the early stages of its rapid transformation. Medical advancements were limited, smartphones had just begun to emerge, and transportation was far from convenient. Traveling back and forth was a major challenge. But today, everything had changed. Seeing how far her homeland had come, Gui Hua felt an overwhelming sense of pride, her heart swelling with emotion. Seeing how Gui Hua had left behind a prosperous country to follow him to Africa, Asang cherished her even more. Determined to be a better husband, he made a conscious effort to change habits that used to frustrate her. Meanwhile, their children were deeply concerned about their grandfather's health. After so many years away, Gui Hua felt an overwhelming longing for her homeland. But, with limited time, their visit to China could only last 20 short days. To give her daughters the opportunity to fully immerse themselves in Chinese culture, Gui Hua decided to leave her eldest and third daughters in China, where they would study Mandarin with her third sister. Meanwhile, she and Asang returned to Rwanda with their son and youngest daughter. Through her own journey, Gui Hua has proven that with determination and perseverance, one can build a fulfilling life anywhere in the world. Today, her family continues to document their daily life in Africa through videos, helping bridge the cultural gap between China and Africa. In this era of rapid globalization, cross-cultural marriages between Chinese and Africans are becoming more common. However, few Chinese women who marry African men achieve the level of happiness and success that Gui Hua has found. No two people are exactly alike, just as no two leaves in the world are identical. The success of Gui Hua and her siblings is not just the result of hard work. Luck has played a significant role as well. First, Asang's family was already wealthy and well-connected in Rwanda, providing a strong financial and social foundation. Second, Rwanda itself is unique among African nations. Located in East Africa, Rwanda is a landlocked country about two-thirds the size of China's Hainan Island. With rolling mountains and breathtaking landscapes, Rwanda has earned the nickname the Switzerland of Africa. One-third of the country is covered in forests, rainfall is abundant, and the average temperature remains a comfortable 73 degrees Fahrenheit, 23 degrees Celsius, year-round. Unlike many other African nations, Rwanda lacks major natural resources such as oil or gold, yet it is regarded as the cleanest country in Africa. It is also one of the few nations without customs toll stations, boasts a life expectancy of 70 years, and is among the safest countries on the continent. Additionally, Rwanda ranks second in Africa for its business-friendly environment. The United Nations has recognized Rwanda as one of the most promising economies in Africa. China and Rwanda have enjoyed long-standing diplomatic ties, and in recent years, Chinese investments have played a crucial role in Rwanda's rapid development. With improved infrastructure, expanding trade, and even rural access to online shopping, Rwanda has modernized significantly. For Gui Hua, living in Rwanda for the past 11 years has been a stroke of luck. These years coincided with the country's most transformative period of economic growth. All these factors combine to shape the story of her success. However, this story is not meant to encourage anyone to move to Africa in search of wealth. News and personal narratives often highlight unique cases that are not easily replicable. Every decision comes with risks, and there is no universal formula for success. Gui Hua's journey in Africa is more than just a love story. It is a testament to resilience, adaptability, and the courage to embrace change. From a young woman who left home for love, she has built a thriving family, established a successful career, and become a cultural bridge between China and Africa. But is her journey as flawless as it seems? Has she faced challenges she has yet to reveal? And is life in Africa as ideal as some might imagine? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know what you think of this story. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to join us in discovering more fascinating stories.